Hello all and welcome in to the Tier 2 finale here in Brazil. You're joined by me, WHFRO, and Ollie.
Yeah, hello everyone.
And we're here in round 12 of this 12 round calendar. And I'll get I'll let you have a look at the results if I can find where they are. Here we are. The results from last race was Michael Louis picking up the victory over Kevin Kell. He would close the gap in the championship to 5 points, I believe, overall, if you have a look here. So still all to play for as Ledgeman serving his quali ban. Now that he does that, I just also got to check who else is serving a quali ban. They are not here, the people, so Alice has got his out of the way. But we'll follow Cthulhu on this lap around Brazil. And what are your predictions for this evening, Ollie? Who do you think's going to win it?
Well, I mean, you're gonna have to look at Kevin. Obviously, you know, championship leader going into the final round, but you know you can't write out Michael Louis. You know, he's had a pretty good season. You know, he's won a couple of races, I believe. So, you know, I wouldn't write him off either. I'd like to see a surprise. You know, see someone hasn't won a race coming to win the final round of the season. But you know, we'll have to wait and see. As Kevin Cow has gone out on a set of intermediates, so he's saving a set of softs.
I wonder, is Kevin going to do the stunt that he has been doing for the past while, where he's not been doing qualifying at all? But now that the championship gap is down to 5 points, I really do not think he can continue to do that.
Yeah, it'd be a huge risk if he were to qualify last, well, not last, because of Ellis's grid penalty or whatever, and then have his front wing broken lap one. You know, that would pretty much hand the championship to Michael Louis at that point. But obviously, you know, it's a 36 lap race, I believe, so it is a very, very long race. So, you know, anything can happen as the times are tumbling.
And Michael Louis currently has the fastest time on the board with an 8.4 ahead of Flame, aka Wave, who's the newest driver in WHF. And Luxury, the returning driver who races from time to time as well here. He's up there in P3. Important to note, the battle for the constructors and the drivers is going on here. Let me have a look at the constructors. It is McLaren lead by 3 points ahead of Williams. But there is no... there's no Dub Z here today to help Codzilla and the constructors, so Williams, if they can outscore Codzilla by 3 points here, Williams will be constructor champions. They're also trying to help Michael Louis win the drivers as well. Meanwhile, Kevin Kell, I think, cannot catch in the constructors as well. I think Alpine will finish at highest in P3 in the championship. Meanwhile, we'll go on board with Codzilla, who still has an outside chance at the Drivers' Championship here. Codzilla would realistically need Michael Louis and Kevin to take each other out. And if he were to win, Codzilla could still win the championship here, as D. Sommers sets the fastest lap time with an 8.3, meanwhile Codzilla with an 8.9. And Ollie Bean around next in the Haas goes 11th, but Kevin out there with a set enters. I really hope we don't see him actually doing the strategy that we think he's doing.
At the moment, yeah, he is going for keep staying on those intermediates. So yeah, fair play to him, but you know, still 12 minutes left, so still a lot of time for him to come in and strap a set of softs on and possibly go for pole at the moment, which is currently an 8.3 set by D. Summers.
Meanwhile, Scones with an impressive lap time there up to P4. The Tier 1 commentator with an 8.6, you love to see it. Could Scones be one of the drivers that is vying for pole here? We'll have to keep an eye out. Meanwhile, I think D. Summers into the pit lane. There's a McLaren of Codzilla going for another lap, I believe. Did improve there, and up to P4 goes Codzilla. And
yeah, he needed that improvement.
Certainly did. Meanwhile, the lanky one out on a lap. I wonder, is there anyone ahead of him on a lap? I don't believe so.
The Sci-Fi Mega Hype has just started his lap as he runs very, very deep in turn 1, so that's already compromised him for turn 2. So that's not a good start to the lap he would have wanted.
But the lanky one up to the line now. Where can he put his Cyber? Currently sits P5 in the championship, and he goes quickest here with an 8.2. Brilliant lap time there from the lanky one. I'm trying to remember what my time trial is around Brazil. Let me check RaceNet to see what it is. Do you
So
remember?
basically, you just want to flex on how fast you are around Brazil.
The thing is about TT, I just looked. I have a 6.9, but the thing is about TT is normally in the session you're a good bit slower than your TT time because you've probably perfect conditions in TT to get the most out of the lap time, whereas to actually get a quick lap time in session is a lot more difficult. So if you can see any of the drivers into the 7s, that'd be very impressive, I'd say. I'm pretty sure when we did Brazil, my pole, or not even my pole, but like my P6 was like a 7.8 or something. Meanwhile, pole was more like a 7.2, as Cthulhu does improve by a spot. But on my lap, I got blocked by a certain driver who the stewards didn't believe I got blocked, but we'll complain about that another day. Meanwhile, Stephen Beecham there out on a lap. Stephen Beecham was doing very impressively last time out in Qatar, but unfortunately, him and the lanky one would pick up a drive-through that would ultimately cost them both really a podium. They were inside that top 5 battling for the win, and both of them picking up a drive-through cost them a lot. Maybe Stephen Beecham can finally get back up there, and I'd love to see a Stephen Beecham podium by the end of the season. Brian Kippy says crazy the difference between Tier 2 and Tier 1. I wouldn't say it's that bad.
Yeah, it depends what track it is, I think. Because, I mean, Lanky One, who's currently provisional pole, he's raced Tier 1 quite a few times, and, he's finished top 5, I think, a couple of times. He's been there.
The lanky one has raced the whole season in Tier 1 and is currently P9 in the championship.
Yeah.
And Kevin Cal's currently P7 in the Tier 1 championship, so there still is a lot of drivers out there who are decent.
Yeah, talking about Kevin Cal, he is on now a set of medium tyres, so he's got off the wet tyres and gone onto a set of the yellow wall medium tyres. He's coming around. He's about 2.5 seconds up on his current lap time, so we'll see what the time will be when he comes across the line now. It's actually going to be a very good time. Oh my word, that's on mediums.
Uh-oh. That's not great. That is not great. Anyway, I believe SNZ's asked for an invite, so we'll see if we can get him in. Although, unfortunately, his Ferrari has been taken, but that's what happens as Flame goes quickest with an 8.1 on debut here. Brilliant lap time there for the Ferrari reserve, who's incidentally taken SNZ's car.
Yeah, so, Scones has just gone across the line there with a 0.3 improvement. It keeps him P9 at the moment.
And Michael Louis crossed the line there and improved very slightly on his lap, but not enough to gain any positions. And he's currently behind his championship rival, who's on the medium tyres. which kind of shows you the pace Kevin Kel's had this season.
So yeah, you can. I'm guessing if he put on a set of soft tyres, I'm sure he would be in the 7s.
Yeah. I think we can say for sure this will definitely be the final time we see Kevin Cal in Tier 2 for quite a while. But I'll be interested to see, can Michael Louis and Codzilla improve on their lap time. Currently Cod's out on a lap and has to make the most of it now. Coldzilla's realistically got to hope for some carnage in the race to try and win here. But if he were to get a brilliant qualifying, it would certainly help him in achieving that, as Michael Louis and Kevin Cal may squabble behind. And it is a purple middle sector. Don't know if that's legit, because with the F1 game you never know if a purple middle sector is legit. But anyway, Coldzilla now up to the line. Where can he put his McLaren? It is pole, and it's provisional pole for Coldzilla with an 8-0. Brilliant lap time there, as Luxury, I believe, improved slightly on his time as well, up to P9. But Coldzilla doing exactly what he needs to be doing, starting on pole. If he can, Michael Louis invalidated, I believe, a second run around, so he'll have to go in again. But I wonder, is Luxury on another push lap, as he invalidates as well?
No.
Scones in a lap, Cthulhu invalid, Pneumatic is half a second to the good. He would jump Sci-Fi Mega Hype, but can he get anywhere close to Ollie Bean? We'd have to see. Pneumatic does jump Sci-Fi Mega Hype, but not close enough to Ollie Bean. Meanwhile, Ty Clear around a lap there. And I would definitely say the most unlucky driver of the season in Tier 2 has been Ty Clear, who rounds the final corner now. Ty Clear, I seen a post on TikTok where he said he's yet to get a podium in league racing, which shocked me, because there were a couple times this season where he was in for a win, and in Australia he probably should have won, but luck has not fallen Ty Clear's way this season. And hopefully, I did mention I'd like to see a Stephen Beecham podium this race, but I'd also like to see a Ty Clear podium for sure as well.
Alright. How long have we got left in the session? 4 minutes. I believe Cthulhu is currently on a lap, which he is currently improved by about a tenth and a half as he slides through the double right-hander there, and he is invalid because of it. So unlucky for the Red Bull. He will have to come into the pits now, put on a new set of boots, and go out again, see if he can try and improve from his current P12 starting position. Let's get there. I think he's up. There we go.
I'm trying to help SNZ grab a car. I don't think he knows how to do it. Hopefully he can figure it out.
Oh, he's in. He's in the
you got a car
V-Carb now.
Lovely. Okay. So SNZ should hopefully get time to at least pick his setup, and then also set one flying lap here in qualifying. Glad he got in on time. And for those of you who are new in here, SNZ is a Ferrari driver and will score points for Ferrari. Meanwhile, Flame, the reserve for today, is won't actually be scoring points for Ferrari, despite I'm sure Ferrari would love him to be, with him currently sitting P2. Meanwhile, we're going to follow Scones on the lap, but he's invalid. I hope he has enough fuel for another run. Ollie Bean out there on the lap, as well as Sci-Fi Mega Hype. We'll see, can they improve any on their lap times. But with 2 minutes to go left in the session, who do you think is going to get pole here, Ollie?
Well, I mean, it's hard to bet against Kevin Cow at the moment, because I mean, he's currently still in the pits, but It's interesting to see if will he come out on that set of mediums or will he go for a set of softs? Because if he's done a 8-2 on the mediums, you know, God forbid what he can do on a set of soft tires. So, but at the moment, I think I'm gonna say a prediction. I'm gonna throw Michael Louis under the bus.
What I would say is that Michael Louis and Kevin Cal need to get a move on. They need to leave the pit lane like now.
Yeah, Michael Louis only just come out onto track now, so he should have enough time to get round, but he
They're
can't afford to slow down too
I
much.
don't think Kevin's leaving. Kevin's not doing a lap. Yeah, Kevin has run out of time, I'm pretty sure. Kevin won't improve here. So Kevin is sticking with his P4 at best. Surprising to see. Meanwhile, Flame may get blocked from SNZ ahead. I think SNZ is also on a lap. But Wave is very close to the V-Carb. And the V-Carb does back out of his lap. Hopefully SNZ has enough time to go around and set another lap, because he kind of did have to just back out of that, but I do believe he was on a lap. Meanwhile, Flame is a 10th to the good. Coldzilla about to start a lap. But Flame out there on debut here. Could have a debut pole in his back pocket. As 30 seconds left in the session, Ollie Beans retired from the session. Can't improve on his 9-2, as I think we did see someone improve there.
Yeah, Stephen Beecham goes P5.
Yeah, and forward journey up to P4 as well. So Michael Louis down in P7 has to do something serious to try and get pole here. As Flame now crosses the line, does improve, but doesn't jump Coldzilla now. Coldzilla still holds provisional pole. Meanwhile, the lanky one out of the middle sector, it said he was 2/10 to the good. If that's true, it could be pole here for the lanky one. In the Sauber as he comes up to the line. Where can the Sauber go? Oh, he doesn't improve. He must have lost time through that final sector. Meanwhile, we've got Cthulhu around next, followed by D. Sommers, I believe. D. Sommers now crossing the line. Didn't improve. We've got the Ferrari of Ty Clear around next. Where can he go? Ty does improve to P9. Who else do we have out there? I think it is Michael Louis up to the line. And it's a pole for Michael Louis with a 0.79. Brilliant lap time there from Michael Louis. Can anyone do anything to stop him? I don't believe so. I think that's all of the laps done. We've got Pneumatic not improving. SNZ's invalid. And Stephen Beecham, he's going on a slow lap. So there you have it. Michael Louis needed to pull a lap out of the bag, and he did just that. And he's got himself the pole position point as well. I'm going to write in all the results now so I do not forget them. Kevin Cal started P7 and Scollins is P11. Just got to keep an eye on this for the constructors battle as well as the drivers. But there you have it. Michael Louis on pole ahead of Coldzilla, ahead of Flame with P3 on debut. In front of the lanky one, forward journey, Stephen Beecham, Kevin Kell, D. Sommers, Ty Clare, and Luxury is your top 10. Meanwhile, Scones, Cthulhu, Ollie Bean, Pneumatic, Sci-Fi, Mega Hype, SNZ, and LTJ Ellis is your bottom 7. As Nudo says he doesn't like Brazil. Nudo, I think, the only track Nudo likes is Kota, because he had one good race there. He's still holding on to it. But there you have it. Michael Louis on pole. But important to note, Kevin Call's time was set on the medium, so Kevin Cal will certainly still be there in the fight for sure.
I mean, this could cause issues for Kevin though, because he's set his time on the medium tires, which, you know, that might screw up his race strategy, because he might not have another set of mediums to go. I mean, he'll have another set of mediums to go in the race, but if there's a safety car, if he starts on a set of tires that he oh god, my brain is just frazzled. Oh, fuck.
What Ollie is trying to say is if he won't have an extra set of mediums because he has used some in the session. Oh, and it's going to be a wet race. Very interesting. As I need to tell the drivers when they're ready up so that no one readies up early, which they may do. hopefully no one is ready up early, but sometimes when I forget to tell them, they are addicted to pressing that button early. But I think I think everyone is experienced enough now by the season finale to not ready up early.
Yeah, I mean, you'd hope so.
But in the chat we do have Lily. I'm just going to call you Lily because the rest of the name is confusing to pronounce. But Lily in the chat says, "Don't let it be Brazil 2024," and Lily is cheering on Flame in the chat. But who do you think is going to win the championship, Ollie? Who's your money on?
I mean, I'm a good friend of Michael Lewis, so I'd love to see him get his first championship in WHF. Especially, he's been around from SSR days, for a long, long time. So I think he deserves it. And I mean, Codzilla, he's been around even longer, I think, than Michael Lewis, or pretty close. So even seeing Cod winning the championship would be something. But yeah, Kevin looking very, very formidable, should we say, after setting that time on the mediums. But obviously, now it's wet, anything can happen. So we might have a DNF from one of our top three. Hopefully not, but fingers crossed. Everyone keeps it clean.
I gotta say, I would love to see Codzilla win the championship, just because that would mean we'd have seen absolute carnage with the other two drivers in order for that to happen, because that's what it will take for Codzilla to win the championship here. But Michael Lewis and Codzilla battling for the championship alongside Kevin Kell. Michael Lewis and Codzilla starting on the front row of the grid here in wet conditions, which are Codzilla's favourite. I must say, he is an absolute rain master. But Kevin Kell starting P7, set his lap time on the mediums. I'm sure he's certainly the driver to look out for. I'll let you have another look at the standings before we start here. It is Kevin Kell leading with 193 to Michael Lewis 188. Meanwhile, Codzilla sits on 174. Essentially needs a miracle to go his way in order to stop Kevin Kell or Michael Lewis scoring points here. And he would need, at minimum, a P2, I believe. So Codzilla's going to need a lot to go his way. But this is going to be an exciting one, and the drivers should be readying up round about now. So hold your horses for 36 laps around the circuit here in Brazil. As Nudomatic and Ollie Bean in the chat are saying it's the battle of the spinning Ollies, as they have an Ollie watching them in the commentary booth.
Yeah, I just realised that. There's 3 Ollies in there. Oh, God.
Ollie, Ollie, Ollie. And then you continue the song. But,
No.
but anyway, we have the countdown starting now, and we will have the 5 red lights on, as everyone will be starting in interconditions here. As we have the 5 red lights on here in the Tier 2 finale, and they're out, and who can get a good start here? I think Codzilla has got a good start, but Michael Lewis on the outside has got a better one. Michael Lewis leads comfortably into turn 1. Oh, it's a big send from forward journey. A little bit of contact with Flame, and he drops down the order, but holds it together. And everyone seems to have got away cleanly, apart from SNZ, who's in the wall with a VSC out already. Sci-Fi Mega Hype missing a front wing already, as Scones has dropped down the order with LTJ Ellis getting ahead. Oh, wow, what was that? Scones and Ellis here swapping positions under this VSC. I wonder what's happening there. Very strange. Very, very strange, as I think Ellis may have damage on that front left end plate, as we see the Williams off track momentarily. What is going on here, lads? I think they both are encountering some overtake bug, but yes, Ellis does have left end plate damage, and Scones has had to let through Ellis again. I think they're both getting illegal overtakes. And now they're...
Yeah, it must be.
They're 5 seconds behind the pack, so they both need to get a move on just to make sure they don't lose too much time here. But Michael Louis did get a comfortable start there and was able to comfortably keep Codzilla at bay here at the start of this race. But with the VSC out, a reminder that I just remembered I forgot to add the sound alerts because Brian Kippy tried to play a sound alert. Let us know. Let us know when the green flags drop so I can click back on again. Oh Jesus! Well, Brian, you're gonna have to wait. But green flags have started. Everyone's avoided a drive-through. Ellis still a second back, but Codzilla we mentioned is the Rainmaster. As Sci-Fi Mega Hype gets a 10-second speeding the pit lane penalty ahead of SNZ. But Kevin Kell under that start has dropped back to P9. So as it stands, Michael Louis would be comfortably champion. Michael Louis, if he wins here, gets fastest lap on pole as Flame has left the track at turn 4. Flame, I believe, may have had contact with Luxury.
No, he went into turn 4, blocked the rears, and slid off the circuit. I was on board with Luxury. Yeah, Flame possessing front wing damage on his left-hand side, missing an end plate, so yeah, not ideal for the Ferrari. He's down to 6 positions now, so it's not been an ideal start for him. He's going to have to get that wing changed at some point. We'll have to. We don't know if this race is going to go dry later on in the race, but yeah, Kevin Kell down to P8, so yeah, he's got some work to do if he wants to catch up to our front two, who are currently second and third in the championship. So you'll have to see it.
A reminder, Michael Louis did get the pole point, and if he also gets the fastest lap point and wins, I think there's nothing Kevin Kell can do to stop him, even if he finishes second. So Kevin Kell realistically needs to put some pressure on Michael Louis, but down in P8 there's not a lot he can do from back there. Currently Codzilla the closest driver to Michael Louis, and there already is a 1.8 gap back to the lanky one, just to show you the level that Michael Louis and Codzilla have been driving at this season. They already have built a gap, but just as we have seen in so many wet races this season, Codzilla's all over the rear of Michael Louis yet again. We've seen it in Spain, we've seen it in Belgium, we see it again here in Brazil. Codzilla, the Rainmaster, putting pressure all over the Williams, who seems to have a rocket ship strapped to the back. That just makes it so difficult for Codzilla to overtake in wet conditions. But can Codzilla make something happen here? As Flame now, it has spun. I don't know what turn that's at, but Flame now down in P13. As Pneumatic trying to dive around the outside there as Ellis fighting the steering wheel. But Flame may need to come in to get some downforce back on that car again, as Michael Louis sets the fastest lap here. And as Luxury on the outside of Stephen Beecham. Luxury now into P5. Reminiscent of the days when Luxury was fighting JG for the Tier 2 Championship in SSR. Luxury now back up to P5 and trying to remember the pace that he used to have. Meanwhile, Codzilla still all over the rear of Michael Louis. And Codzilla, if I were him, I would start putting a lot more pressure on Michael Louis, because Codzilla not only needs to win this race, but he needs to make sure that Michael Louis and Kevin score as minimal points as possible. So he needs to do something to put pressure on his championship rivals here. As it stands, I don't think he'd be doing enough, but Flame again off in the grass. Meanwhile, Forward Journey gets ahead of the lanky one now. And I think that was a mistake from the lanky one, because they're now 3.7 back from the lead pack, as Codzilla now sets the fastest lap, but still not close enough to the rear of Michael Louis to make a move. And I think Codzilla's got to do something. He can't keep repeating the same thing, as Ty Clare gets through on Cthulhu. But Michael Louis, or Codzilla's got to do something differently to try and make sure that he isn't stuck behind that Williams for another race this season. Meanwhile, D. Summers did get ahead of Stephen Beecham there. with Kevin.
Oh, Kevin Cow has spun.
Oh
Stephen
no!
Beecham there. I think a bit of misjudgment from the Alpine, having the overspeed out turn 4, and yeah, Stephen Beecham unfortunately getting spun by the Alpine. So that may be huge in the championship, because that may be a penalty to Kevin for that. So even if Kevin wins, it may not be his actual win. But yeah, that's unfortunate for Stephen, is down to P12, but obviously still in the points.
And following that contact, Ty Clear now closing to the rear of Kevin Cal, who may be starting to sweat a bit. Meanwhile, Coldzilla closing to the rear of Michael Loy, but again, the rocket ship on the back of that Williams. This has been the story for a large part of the season as SNZ spins around. But a large part of the season has been Coldzilla in the wet. You can see he has so much pace in the McLaren, but he just can't get ahead of the Williams in a straight line. And again, I think we're starting to see that, where Coldzilla is all over the rear of the Williams, but just can't get ahead. But Michael Loy makes a big mistake out of turn 4 there. But Coldzilla unable to pounce on it.
Yeah, these top two have absolutely separated themselves from the two kicksalvers behind. So even if one of them does make a mistake, they have that gap that they can fall back into. So I mean, I suppose that's kind of a bit of a I don't know the word to use for that. As is a yellow, as
safety car out, Flame into the wall, and that was right in front of the pit lane, and Flame now into the pit lane to fix his front wing. The race has really not gone Flame's way, who did start inside the top 5 here. But what do the drivers do? Do anyone come in for fresh inters? We'll see here on lap 6. Does anyone risk it? No, not for Coldzilla, not for Michael Loy. Does Kevin try anything? Let's have a look here. Kevin is coming in. Kevin coming in. What tyres is the Alpine going for is the question.
I mean, it's crucial that it's still raining in the race, so he decides to put on a set of dries. You know, at the moment, it's definitely not going to be the right call.
It is, it's hard! It's hard. Is it really hard? My eyes deceive me? It's hard tires. Oh my lord! And it's still raining. It's still raining. This is hilarious. Oh my word! It's still raining here on lap 7 as the championship leader has gone to hard tires. But by the time the safety car comes in, will it have been the right strategy call? We'll have to wait and see. A very big risk from the Alpine here. And will the risk pay off? Brian in the chat says he's insane, and I'm going to, now that there is a full safety car, I'll let you all have a look at the standings while I get the sound alerts turned back on again. But, Ollie, do you think that'll be the right move, or...?
I mean, at the moment, it's still raining, so, I mean, even when if it does stop raining in the next couple of laps, you know, it's still going to be greasy. The Inters will still be faster for a couple of laps, so, you know, as he's going off track, you know, he's struggling for traction even behind the safety car conditions and everything, so, you know, I don't know if this is the right call from the Alpine. But, you know, fair play for him for trying, but as Lanky One's now coming to the pits...
Oh, interesting.
How is he going to strap on?
I think he may be doing the hards as well. As Ollie Bean in the chat, who's also driving, has said, oh, Kevin Kell's back in the pit lane. He's back in the pit lane.
Lanky One's got to a set of hards.
But Kevin Kell back in the pit lane.
Well, what is he going to do here?
He's back onto the Inters, I think.
Yes, he is.
I think he didn't want to dry. He just made a mistake.
Maybe that might be the game.
Oh my
Screwing him over
lord.
there.
Kevin Kell down in P16 now. Meanwhile,
still scoring 1 point.
He'll still score 1 point, but he'll be caught. Oh, as he's into the wall, exiting the pit lane, a little bit of a brush of the wall. But as it stands now, Kevin Kell would finish the championship P3. Coldzilla and Michael Loy would jump him.
I mean, it's interesting now. Lanky One, who was sitting, I think, P4 or 5, has put on a set of hards. And I don't think that was a mistake. So, Lanky One might actually be risking this. He's down in P13, so he's lost a hell of a lot of positions.
I'll say it'll be a horrendous mistake if the safety car comes in this lap, which it may do.
I think it is.
And I think Kevin recognised that as well, that he had made a mistake because the rain is still not easing up. And the safety car is in this lap, and the Lanky One, unfortunately, has made a horrific mistake because he needs the rain to immediately stop, like right now, for the hards to work, because he may lose 20 seconds or so by the time... Oh, he's just really struggling under traction as there's damage for someone there.
I believe that is
in the
Sci-Fi.
back.
No, it's not. It is Stephen Beecham with damage on his front wing. Maybe, I think that was contact with Ellis. They were bunched up together. I think that might have been just because of the front pack, who are just still controlling the pace. As Michael Louis gone now.
And Luxury now on the outside of Forward Journey as they head into turn 1. Side by side they go. Little bit of contact as the Sauber knocks the Mercedes wide. As D. Sommers now trying to get around the outside of Luxury now. Through turn 3. D. Sommers losing the rear slightly. Ty Clear trying to find his way through here into P5. On the outside of D. Sommers as they head into turn 4. Can the Ferrari and the Aston Martin keep it clean? The Aston Martin had a back out there. And lovely battling here on this restart. Meanwhile, Kevin Kell already up into P13 as the... SNZ contact with, I believe, Sci-Fi there. And dropping down a little bit, but the Lanky One has made the wrong call going onto the hards now. He's just going to lose time hand over fist on those hard tyres. It's still not dry enough. But I think what that does indicate is at some point in the race it will be dry. Just when that dry comes is the question, as Pneumatic gets through on scones. A reminder that Williams are battling McLaren for the championship here. Luxury contact with Forward Journey. Exit in the final corner. And Luxury, the Mercedes, now gets into P3. But can Forward Journey get back ahead of the Mercedes? He's going to try and defend the inside here. And Luxury keeps it ahead, but I think he gets a little bit of a wheel touch of the grass, which may open the door to the drivers behind. But again, under the restart, Michael Louis and Caudzilla starting to gap the drivers behind as Sci-Fi Mega Hype picks up a time penalty. And Kevin Kell now on the inside of Ledgeman, who has damage on that Haas. Can Kevin Kell find a way through? Kevin Kell is being very patient here, trying to find his way through the pack. But a reminder, Flame, who unfortunately was lapped already in this race, just really not had the race, or the debut race that he wanted here in Tier 2, as Caudzilla now right on the gearbox of that Williams. And here on lap 10, Michael Louis makes a little wobble. Oh, another wobble, trying to get the traction on that Williams. Can the McLaren finally find a way through on the Williams now as they battle potentially into turn 1, but the Williams, even struggling under traction, still has the pace. Still has the pace to keep that McLaren at bay. Can Caudzilla finally get the exit he needs into turn 4? As Michael Louis continues to pull a gap to the McLaren. The McLaren clearly has a lot of pace in hand, but just cannot find an opening to get past as Flame has retired from the session. The pit lane, Ollie Bean contact with someone and spins around. I think Ollie Bean may have had contact with Cthulhu or someone, as Cthulhu contact with Pneumatic. Oh, and contact with Cthulhu and Kevin Kell, as Cthulhu was rejoining the circuit. And
SNZ is also around.
Yeah, SNZ leaving the track again here. He's really struggling. Meanwhile, Caudzilla back on the rear of the Williams again. Does he have the battery to get ahead of the Williams? We'll have to see. Has he saved enough to get past?
Looks like he's too far behind.
Oh, and
for
Luxury
now.
gets a 10-second speeding the pit lane penalty, but Forward Journey also in. D. Summers gets a 10-second speeding of the pit lane penalty, but it has stopped raining now. And the drivers are in. The drivers are in here on lap 12 as it has stopped raining.
Yeah, this is unfortunately for Lanky One. I think he's now too far behind to take advantage from any of this, as he might actually get past a couple of cars here.
Yeah, but if he hadn't the box, he would have been ahead of them anyway, so... But... They're trying the mediums to the end?
Oh, I don't know about that one.
24 laps on the mediums will be a definite tough stint to do, but Luxury, Forward Journey and D. Summers all trying it, although Luxury and D. Summers both have 10-second speeding in the pit lane penalties. But what do the leaders do? Do Codzilla and Michael Louis come in? When does Kevin come in? Is another question. We'll have to see what the leaders do here. Michael Louis going to stay out. Codzilla goes for the undercut here. Can he make it work in the McLaren? Can he make the undercut work? Ty Clear stays out as well. Scones staying out. Kevin Cal going to come in. He's also trying the undercut on the leader here. Oh, and he losing the rear into the pit lane. Along with Cthulhu. Sci-Fi Mega Hype always. Everyone who's coming into the pit lane is absolutely losing the rear. Trying to keep it together.
Yeah, Godzilla now coming out the pit lane on a set of hard tyres. So yeah, Godzilla going to be going to the end of the race. Unlike our three medium runners of Luxury, who will he come out ahead? No, he will not. He's too far behind of that McLaren. But that's good. That's a good.
Oh, SNZ though. And Ty Clear gets a 10-second corner cutting penalty. Huh?
I don't know where you got that, as he's in the middle sector.
That's a weird one. But SNZ really struggling ahead of Codzilla, and this actually may really not help Codzilla. He's been blocked by the V-Carb, really struggling for the in the inters here. Really struggling for traction, and that would have held up the McLaren massively here, which may help Michael Louis pull off the overcut as he comes into the pit lane now.
No!
Oh, and Michael Louis picks up a 10-second speeding in the pit lane penalty. I wonder, does Ty Clear serve? Oh no, he's got another 10-second.
Penalties everywhere.
I was gonna say, I wonder, does Ty Clear serve his 10-second for corner cutting, which he is going to, but he's also going to serve a 10-second for his speeding as well, as the DRS is now enabled. Where does Michael Louis exit the box? But he does have that 10-second penalty here, which could play in a really important factor in the championship battle here.
Yeah, he's going to be ahead by, I think, a second or two. As there is the McLaren in the background. Yeah, he's...
Oh my lord, it's 3 seconds. Monster lead for Michael Louis. Because of Codzilla being held up by SNZ. Codzilla also has Luxury for company, as well as Kevin Cal getting ahead of the lanky one. Kevin Cal now, what can he do? If he can get inside 10 seconds of Michael Louis, the championship will be his.
Yeah, who'd have thought by the start of this race? But yeah, that is such an unfortunate mistake for Michael Louis there, because now, well, he's gonna have to serve it, because I mean, if he doesn't, that's another 10 seconds at the end of the race, because the game gives out another 10 seconds if you don't serve it. So that'd be 20 seconds added to Michael Louis' race time.
That's not how it works. It comes up as a notification, but it's still 10 seconds.
Ah, fair enough.
But as Michael Louis retakes the lead, as Luxury gets ahead of Codzilla now, Luxury being a little spanner in the works for Codzilla, but Codzilla kind of needs the help of Luxury as Kevin Cal sets the fastest lap now. Can Kevin Cal get that fastest lap point? We'll have to see, but if I look at the gap to the leader, Kevin Cal is 12 seconds behind, so he needs to catch 2 seconds to Michael Louis in order to win the championship here, essentially. So the championship is a lot closer than we thought it was going to be. Kevin Cal just needs to catch 2 seconds to Michael Louis, and that's all it will take. Meanwhile, Michael Louis, if there's a late safety car, pretty much has to go into the pit lane. Regardless. He has to serve that 10-second. Because if he doesn't serve it, then he'll lose even more time. Oh, and he loses the rear out of the final corner. And he may come under pressure from Codzilla and Luxury pretty quickly. They're actually on older tyres than the leader here, but Michael Louis already lost a second to the drivers behind. He's really struggling here out in the lead as Luxury sets the fastest lap time there on the mediums. And it's all good, Wave. And Wave says he had rear wing damage since lap 4, so that would have been awful to drive in, so I cannot blame you for retiring in the pit lane. But also...
Oh my goodness. As there's a battle between Ty Clear and Newtomatic, as that got very close going along the straight there. I had to step back a little bit there, even though I'm sitting down.
And thankfully Stephen Meacham has a third new front wing. Oh, Newtomatic onto the grass! What are we doing, lads? Oh. And it seemed like Stephen Meacham also had a third broken wing there, but thankfully got on the brakes behind Newtomatic, who went for a bit of a crazy move. Meanwhile, Luxury inside a second now of Michael Louis. But Michael Louis just about keeping him at bay, but Luxury caught 6/10 in the previous lap. So Michael Louis on these fresher hards seems to be struggling to get them working. Meanwhile, Codzilla, can he get back through on Luxury? Not close enough to make the move on the Mercedes, but he does set the fastest lap. But important to see, Kevin Kell also sets the fastest lap here. If we look at the gap to the leader, it's now at 10.4. A reminder, Michael Louis has to outscore Kevin Kell by 5 points in this race to win the championship. And as it stands, Kevin Kell's almost inside the delta to the leader, which is Michael Louis, that he needs. So that 10-second spinning in the pit lane penalty may cost him dearly here. It'll be heartbreak if Kevin Kell, or if Michael Louis loses the championship that way. I kind of hope that it more comes down to a fight on track than it does penalties, to be honest. But
definitely.
Another reminder, Kevin Kell did have earlier contact with Stephen Meacham that may see the stewards, so...
That is very true, yeah.
We'll have to see what is decided, but Luxury now right behind Michael Louis here in the battle for the lead. And the 3-second gap that Michael Louis did have has now been lost. And Luxury seems to have a lot of pace out there, so if I were Michael Louis, I would just let Luxury go and tow me along. As Luxury does dive into the lead of the race, and Michael Louis does let Luxury ahead. And I wonder, can Luxury use those mediums to continue to pull a gap to Kevin Kell? We'll have a look at the gap to the leader, Kevin Kell now. It's so marginal, he's literally 10 seconds back from Michael Louis. It would be a matter of tenths either way to see who'd win the championship here. Although a reminder, Michael Louis does have to outscore Kevin Kell by 5 points, so if they were to finish too close via position, then Michael Louis would not end up being champion.
Yeah, it's a shame really that he got that penalty, because this, unless we have a safety car or else he has to pit, you know, this might be decided by penalties, which is, you know, it's never the. I don't think anyone will want to win a championship by penalties, but at the moment it might be going the way of Codzilla, which is obviously, you know, everyone would love to see, but you know, heartbreak for Michael Louis as it stands. He will fall down.
Oh well. It'll still be Kevin Kell's championship as it stands, because Codzilla needs to outscore both of them by quite a margin. He kind of needs them both to DNF. Because if I'm pretty sure if Kevin Kell gets P12 or higher, I think he outscores Codzilla. So Codzilla realistically needs to essentially cause some drama here. I don't know how he's going to manufacture that, but he's going to do something to put pressure on either of them. But as it stands, Kevin Kell would be inside that 10-second margin that he needs to finish ahead of Michael Louis. And Michael Louis just got to work together with Luxury and Coldzilla to try and build their gap over Kevin Kell here. But Kevin Kell using the clear air to try and catch. Meanwhile, D Summers in forward journey. Swap positions again into turn 1.
Yeah, interestingly, these two are obviously on the medium, so I don't think they'll be able to go another 16 laps on those tyres as it stands. But, I mean, if they do, you'd probably puncture territory by the end of it, even if they don't make it to the end. So, yeah, as well as Luxury, who is obviously our race leader currently, so, yeah. It's hard to predict what's going to happen, really.
I think their mediums can go to the end, but they'll be significantly outperformed by the hards by the end of this race. I think if there's no drama that happens and the race continues as is and everyone's on those same tyres, I think there's no way Luxury wins this one. Because those mediums will fall off at the end. And I think, well, at least the win this race may go to Coldzilla. But whether or not he can manufacture Michael Louis, who does pick up the fastest lap now, can he manufacture some carnage of Michael Louis and Kevin Kell, maybe try and force mistakes out of both of them? Oh, his forward journey contact with D Summers, and D Summers leaving the track at turn 1 and losing a lot of time in the process. Meanwhile, Cthulhu on the inside of Ty Clear. Side by side they go through turn 1 and turn 2. Oh, and Ty Clear gets his front wing clipped, but holds it together. Stephen Beecham now on the rear. Cthulhu going to go to the inside of the Red Bull. And Stephen Beecham now into P9 ahead of Cthulhu. As Ty Clear looking for range to get back past Cthulhu if he can. Meanwhile, Kevin Kell inside DRS range of D Summers. And as it stands, out there on track, I believe Kevin Kell would be champion, yet he's inside 10 seconds of Michael Louis. But it is still very marginal. It's 9.8 to the leader. That's how close it is, as Michael Louis sets the fastest lap, followed by Coldzilla. But they're very, very, very close at this top 3 as Luxury makes a big error out of the first section, which may open the door to Coldzilla, who switches to the inside. Can he get through on Luxury now as they head down the Reta Raposta and into turn 4? Coldzilla into P2 now, but can he, as Kevin Kell gets ahead of D Summers, but Coldzilla realistically needs to force more mistakes out of Michael Louis and hope Kevin Kell makes some mistakes, because currently Kevin Kell's not even anywhere near them on track. They're substantially ahead, which is what Coldzilla needs to happen, but he also needs Kevin Kell to not score many points here in this race.
Yeah, I mean, gap at the moment is 9.3 from Kevin to our race leader of Michael.
Oh no! Ellis broke far too late into turn 1, and then on the exit of turn 1, Sci-Fi Mega Hype unfortunately ran in to the tyre of Ellis, and he's missing both end plates, is Sci-Fi Mega Hype, as Ellis is missing a front left end plate now. But what were you saying, Ollie?
Yeah, the gap from Kevin currently at 9.5 seconds roughly to Michael Louis. So yeah, Kevin in that window currently, which he needs to be ahead of the Williams. So he just needs to keep pushing now. He's got very, very little battery at the moment in comparison to our race leader, who has about 50%. So there is a difference in battery. Michael may be saving at the moment just to use it along the straights. Obviously, you know, it's a good strategy to do, not use it in that middle sector because it will burn up your rears. But yeah, he's got to be careful of Coldzilla, who looks very, very good behind him at the moment.
And it's different than the wet conditions. Coldzilla finally will have DRS to use to get ahead of Michael Louis. And if Michael Louis plays it smart, he really doesn't need to battle Coldzilla. I know they're in the championship battle, but Michael Louis is more worried about Kevin Kell. He needs to lose as little time to Kevin Kell as possible, and Coldzilla taking the lead would not be a hindrance on that. But fighting Coldzilla certainly would be. As D. Sombers coming into the pit lane now. I wonder, does he have damage or is he just trying to go to the sauce? Yeah, he's going to go to the sauce for 12 laps. We'll see how effective that is. Is Coldzilla now all over the rear of Michael Louis. And still unable to find a gap now is Coldzilla. Brian says Coldzilla's tires may be dead to dirty air, and I can assure you with the hards at Brazil, they are not. The mediums...
Yeah, they definitely not.
The mediums at this point, I would agree. Luxury may be starting to struggle, as he's now 6/10 back from Coldzilla. Luxury certainly may start to struggle, but I think the hards can honestly do easily 10 more laps before you start seeing heavy wear set in. So I just think Coldzilla never seems to have the straight line speed for whatever reason. Even though he has the rear wing open, he just can't find a way through on Michael Louis. I wonder, is he also of the mindset that he just needs to stay behind and he'll get the win regardless because everyone around him has penalties. But he kind of needs to hope that something happens. Kevin Kell here. Stephen Beecham gets ahead of Ty Clear, battling over P7 now. Can Ty find a way back through on Stephen Beecham?
Interestingly, now watching the gap from Michael Louis to Kevin Kell, the gap is now 10.5. So it's opened up by about a second in the last few laps. So maybe Kevin Kell has made a mistake somewhere, has allowed Michael Louis to get outside of the 10 seconds that he needs to be to actually finish ahead of Kevin, which is what he needs to do if he wants to be champion here, which is, you know, maybe him and Coldzilla are communicating and maybe these two might work together to possibly help Michael. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see now Coldzilla with the DRS. I don't think he's going to be close enough. Yeah, he's definitely not close enough there.
Yeah, we did also see on the previous lap there, Ty Clear got back ahead of Stephen Beecham. Stephen Beecham made a mistake into turn 4 and that opened the door to the Ferrari. But Stephen Beecham now may have a chance to get back through on the Ferrari. But Coldzilla now still not close enough into turn 4. Meanwhile, Stephen Beecham on the inside of Ty Clear. These two have been battling hammer and tongs for the last number of laps. And Beecham gets through again, but can Ty Clear find a way back through on the V-Carb, who did pick up the DRS. Meanwhile, Scones joining this battle as well. A reminder, Scones trying to help Michael Louis in the Constructors' Championship. As it stands, Williams would be Constructor Champions, as they need to outscore Coldzilla by 3 points to overtake McLaren. And Scones simply scoring points will certainly help Michael Louis, even if Michael Louis doesn't win this race. But a reminder, Ty Clear. Oh, a big switch to the inside. He sent it on Stephen. And contact between Ty and Stephen.
Yeah, I've got to feel bad for Stephen now, because he's had contact with Kevin, which spun him round and caused damage to the V-Carb, and now he's been hit by Ty Clear and lost 2 positions because of it. So yeah, Stephen Beecham not having the most fun races, I must say.
Yeah. I fear Stephen may have a long report
Oh yeah.
of him reporting drivers here, and the championship leader may be one of them. Just to let you know, all of you watching, we will announce the winner of the championship after this stream ends. But if you see another stream open in an hour, that means there may have been a change via the stewards. So keep an eye out. If you see another stream up in an hour after the race, start panicking. But as it stands, Kevin Kell would actually not finish ahead of Michael Louis. by a tenth. That's how close this is at the moment. Michael Louis gets some help with the DRS of the lapped car. And it's so mind-bogglingly close between these two. And Kevin Kell has got to outscore as many people as possible. As it stands, he would jump both Luxury and Forward Journey because of their time penalties. And if I were Michael Louis, I'd be praying for a safety car right now because I need to get this 10-second off my back. I'm sure Luxury thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, Michael's doing a very, very good job at the moment. Keep controlling the pace ahead of the two behind him. 3 behind him, actually. Oh no, it's a lapped car. But yeah, at the moment the gap is still outside of 10 seconds, so he's doing enough, but we have 8 laps remaining. So yeah, Kevin really needs to start putting the foot down if he wants to be ahead of Michael Louis. But I say that it's now under 10 seconds, so back up to 10 seconds.
But Coldzilla now here on lap 28. Will he finally take the lead of the race in the McLaren? I think he is. The McLaren finally gets into the lead of the race, and I think Michael Louis realizes what he needs to do. He doesn't need to win here in Brazil. He just needs to gap Kevin Kell as much as possible here. And he needs to work together with one of his championship rivals in order to do that. But I wonder, does Coldzilla know he also needs to essentially make sure Kevin Kell doesn't score any points here? But I think Coldzilla actually may be holding them up here as Cthulhu picks up a time penalty. Now keep an eye on the gap to the leader, see what that does, but Coldzilla needs absolute anarchy to happen in this race in order to win, and Coldzilla has been protecting his tyres as we've seen. Michael Louis has been really sliding the rears for the last number of laps and overheating those rears, which may lose him some time now. He's 6/10 back from the McLaren. And even though Coldzilla may win this race, he still needs something to go his way. But the real battle here we're looking at is the gap between Michael Louis and Kevin Kell. Michael Louis, if he didn't have this penalty, would be sailing home for a championship victory. He's really given himself a lot to do here. He's also essentially got to keep Luxury with him because he's got to help. He's got to hope Luxury also finishes ahead of Kevin Kell because he needs as big a margin as he can get. Meanwhile, D. Somers gets ahead of Pneumatic on those soft tires. We'll see what D. Somers can do in those softs. Oh, he is 10 seconds back from Cthulhu. Meanwhile, the lanky one out there already on 22-lap-old hard tyres in P6 doing very well here. As Kevin Kell now is DRS from Forward Journey. Can the DRS of the Sauber help Kevin Kell here? Or will Forward Journey cause Kevin to lose time from battling? We'll have to see. If Kevin plays this smart, he's surely got to regain some ERS in behind Forward Journey before pushing it all in order to get ahead of the Sauber and gap them as quickly as possible.
Yeah, at the moment, gap to Thingy is about 9.2 seconds, so Kevin is at the moment comfortably in the as the Pneumatic gets 10 seconds speeding and the pit lane penalty. That is not the first of them for tonight. But yeah, Kevin comfortably in the gap he needs to be to beat Michael Louis. So I think at the moment Michael Louis has been held up by COD because he's lost quite a bit of time being behind that McLaren. So I think he does need to just get ahead of this McLaren now and push as hard as he can for the remaining 5 laps of this race.
And we might see,
he's going to do it.
Yeah, we might see just that as Michael Louis does resume the lead. And how much pace does the Williams driver have as Godzilla trying to stay with. But Luxury now may send it on Godzilla, and Luxury on the inside. Oh, turn 4. Oh no. Little bit of wheel banging, but thankfully they've held it together. Absolute panic stations there as Kevin Kell has got ahead of the Sauber in exactly the fashion we said he needed to. He needed to regain the battery before getting ahead. Meanwhile, there's a yellow flag for a Haas.
That's a Haas.
It's Ellis around who's spun again. And the lanky one picks up a 3-second time penalty. But Ellis now...
Hopefully this doesn't cause a safety car.
Which
and
would...
I think it's going to be okay.
It would add such a layer of drama if he did. I kind of wish he did, to be honest, because that would be hilarious levels of drama. But I think when we knock on to lap 33, there'll be no safety cars to help in this race. So it'll be a straight fight for the victory now. Godzilla should surely win this race because of the drivers with penalties around him. But can...
Oh, gap is at 9 seconds now, so there's about a second buffer between the Alpine and the Williams for the championship. This is tense. Oh.
Yeah, Michael Lui needs to pull a second to Kevin in order to win now. Meanwhile, Kevin Kell trying to pull a gap to Forward Journey, because Forward Journey may just annoy the Alpine and cause him to lose time as Ellis gets a 10-second speeding the pit lane penalty. A lot of those penalties today. As we know, Brazil has an awkward pit entry. But as it stands, Kevin Kell here would be your champion. Of course, could lose positions if he does get a penalty from that incident with Stephen Beecham. But how much positions would he lose is the question.
Gap is now 8.7, so Kevin has... I think he's pushing, and he is keeping that gap under 10 seconds quite comfortably now, so... it's hard to watch, really, if you're here supporting Michael Lui.
And Luxury may send it on the Williams, and he does, into turn 1. A little bit of contact between the Williams and the Mercedes as they head through turn 2. And we've got awful camera angles, and Luxury's off in the grass. More contact between him and the Williams.
Oh, that's lost them both so much time to the Alpine behind, who's now comfortably in under 10 seconds of these two, so...
As Scones is retired from the session.
Is that in the pit lane?
No, it's a turn 1. I just seen his car flying. What was that?
Oh my word.
Scones!
That's huge for the constructors as well.
Oh my word, if things end as they do now, McLaren would be constructors champions.
Oh my word.
All Scones had to do is survive to the end, and that would be Williams constructor champions. But now, the race may have gone from bad to worse for the Williams. It may be a McLaren Constructors' Championship win, and Kevin Kell may still win the championship here, which would be the worst outcome for Williams imaginable here.
Yeah, as we're on our penultimate lap of the season and of the race here, so things are coming to the end.
I'm pretty sure Michael Lui has to be livid with himself for picking up that 10-second speeding in the pit lane penalty, which may have ultimately cost him the championship here, because say Michael Lui didn't have penalties currently, he'd be winning the championship right now. But because of that penalty, Kevin Kell may still win it.
Yeah, at the moment gap is 8.9 to Godzilla, and Michael Lui, who's about half a second behind. Yeah, well, I mean, the gap to Michael Lui is about 8.5 seconds. So, yeah, it's tough to watch if you, yeah. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, but as we start the final lap, Godzilla leads the way. Michael Lui, 8 tenths back, needs to do something serious here in the final lap if he wants to win on track, but he's more worried about where Kevin Kell is, to be honest. If Kevin Kell finishes ahead of Michael Lui, Kevin Kell will be your Tier 2 champion here in WHF Season 4. We're here at the final race as Michael Lui now going to look to retake the lead, and Godzilla doesn't even need to battle too hard, to be honest, because he'll have the win regardless. But I'm sure Godzilla still wants to win this championship. But in order for that to happen, he'd need some serious carnage to happen on the last lap here. He'd need Michael Lewis and Kevin to realistically DNF this lap in order to manufacture that. But as it stands, we may have Godzilla winning here in Brazil. But can Kevin Kell hold on to his hard tires until the end here and win the championship in WHF as they round the final corner now? Michael Lewis will lead Godzilla as the rear snaps on the Williams, as it'll be a drag race to the line. And as we cross the line here in the Tier 2 finale, it'll be a Godzilla win in Brazil. But Michael Lewis finished ahead of Luxury, but Kevin Kell, as he crosses the line, will be Tier 2 champion as he finishes ahead of Michael Lewis here in Brazil. And Kevin Kell jumps Michael Lewis because of that 10-second spinning in the pit lane penalty, which will give Kevin Kell the championship here in Tier 2. But what an exciting ending. And Brian in the chat says, well played, Kevin. Scones in the chat is absolutely fuming, he says. As the Lanky One says, can't believe that, GG's lol. As the Lanky One on 29 lap old hards, my lord, finishes in P6. Brilliant drive from the Lanky One there. Unbelievable length he went on those hards. But Ollie Bean will be your final finisher, but we'll try and get everyone to the party if we can. Kevin Kell's on PlayStation though. I will join the... I'll join the driver interviews channel on the Discord, see if I can juggle both of them. Hopefully it does not kick me from the Xbox party. Can you still hear me, Ollie?
Yeah.
Alright. I'll try and do both parties. But there you have it. Godzilla wins in Brazil. But unfortunately for COD, it's not enough to win the championship here. And Kevin Kell, who the race did really not go his way, but in the end would win here, would win the championship here by finishing ahead of Michael Lewis with that 10-second speeding in the pit lane penalty. I'm going to just double check with the results that I'm 90% sure I've calculated correctly. I mean, I'd say I'm 99% sure I've calculated correctly. There would be no way it's not correct. But as we look at the standings now, let us have a look. I'll try and get the stream to see. The stream can't see. So if we look at the race overview, there you have it. Kevin Kell finishes the season on 214 points, ahead of Michael Lewis, 207. Meanwhile, Godzilla finishes on 199 points, despite winning the finale here in Tier 2. It was not enough for Godzilla. And in the Constructors' standings, if it'll refresh, let's see, McLaren do win the Constructors, so absolute heartbreak here for Williams. But with Godzilla in the chat, we'll ask our race winner, Godzilla, how'd that race go for you?
Yeah, it was enjoyable. Yeah, very. Obviously, the newcomer, the reserve, putting his car P3, so he was obviously a man to watch, but obviously there was a mistake in there. But yeah, ultimately it was keeping tabs with Michael. I don't know whether Kevin got caught up early in the race. I weren't too sure, but ultimately I know he'll come back during the course of the race anyway. So either way, I had a mountain to climb. All I was focused on was the constructors, but that didn't look like it was going well. Seeing Scones in like P6 at the time. So yeah, all I wanted to do was have a good final race, and hopefully be on the podium, if not the win. So yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, Cod, I honestly think you did everything you could there. There's not much more you could do. You were stuck between a rock and a hard place because you had to win the race to maximize your points, but you also had to try and manufacture essentially mistakes out of Michael Louis and Kevin, which you ended up doing. You did manufacture putting pressure on Michael Louis, and he picked up a 10-second penalty spitting into the pit lane, but you needed somehow a lot more than that in order for them to not jump you in the championship, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, obviously Mexico early in the season didn't really go well for me at all. Certain other scenarios could have been better on my part, but all in all, it's been a great season. It's been a great fight with Michael and Kevin. Picking up the constructors again for the second time. Yeah, it's been a really good season. Really good season.
Yeah, and I'd say the one caveat for yourself, Codzilla, is with you picking up the win there and finishing out of Michael Louis, you did help McLaren win the Constructors, so even without Dubsy being here, you have won the Constructors for the second time in WHF Tier 2. But how does that feel to be a Constructor Champion?
Yeah, obviously I want that singles title next to my name, but all in all, with like Dub, yeah, I'm very happy to get that over the line. Even though Dub decided to go and visit his godchild, which I would have just put in the cupboard because this is more important. But hey, there we go. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to get that over the line for myself and for Dub Z.
Yeah, and we'll have to move on to Scones, who was in the battle for the Constructor Championship with Williams, and Scones unfortunately retired on lap 34. Scones, when we went on board the car behind you, we seen a flying Williams. What happened?
So, coming onto the main straight, I took a bit of an unusual line because I figured Stephen Beecham would take the regular line and be quicker. I didn't want to fight him for the position at all. And then just past the line, I think he had assumed that he'd completed the move, but he turned into me and then I went into the wall.
Sorry, repeat that again?
So I think when he was passing me, he thought he'd completed the move, but he hadn't. And when he turned in to get in front, he was obviously still slightly alongside me.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, that put me in the wall, unfortunately. So I do have a clip of it if you'd like me to send it to you.
Yeah, you can do. You can make a ticket because I'm sure there'll be a lot of penalties to hand out even in the finale. But really unfortunate ending because if you just finished there, it could have been potentially a Constructor Championship for Williams, but there may be a big penalty heading the way of Stephen Beecham if he did cause that incident.
Just sent you the clip. In my opinion, I did nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm. I'll look at it after the stream. We'll have to review the steers to see who was actually in the wrong. But
absolutely, I'm absolutely fuming. I'm ready to punch something.
Well, that's what pillows are made for. If you wanna,
yeah,
have a go to pillow. But regardless, it has been a great championship for Williams, and I hope to see you again next season. I'm looking forward to it. But we'll move on to the lanky one, who did a monster 29-lap stint on the hards. Lanky one, how were you able to do that?
Very easily. Oh, yeah. It was a bit of my own mistake, really. Before the race, when I could see when the rain was going to end, I put the hards there ready, and then when the safety car come out, my rears were quite like getting to that point where they were starting to give up on the inters. So I thought, I'll quickly see if I can nab some fresh inters, maybe have a good couple of laps before it dries up. But yeah, the hards going on changed plans there. So I thought to myself, the rain was going to end 5 minutes after the safety car went in. So I thought I'll just stick it for now, because I'm either going to lose around the same amount of time as a pit stop anyway. So it was either stop and then have to stop again, or long it out. So I went for the long version, the long route.
Well, it certainly worked, and you got P6 there, which was... I have no idea how you're able to manage that, but what a drive in the end to do that long of a stint. And I'm trying to remember where I put the standing sheet. I'm pretty sure before the race you were P5. I think you will stay P5.
Yeah.
I think you needed a bit more points to catch Dobo. But
I'm happy with P5 overall. Like, it's not been the cleanest. Like, I don't mean on track. I mean my result. Like, my mistakes that I've made, have cost me in a couple of last week in Qatar. I don't know what happened with that drive through. It was weird. I didn't have a delta, but yeah, just little moments like that. So to still be in the top 5, I'm happy with that.
yeah, still a very good result, and I'm looking forward to seeing, hopefully on the next game, less glitches and
Yeah.
well, actually, I don't even need to finish the sentence, to be honest. Less glitches would be great. That's kind of all I'm asking for. But anyway, we'll move on to whoever else is in the party. We'll start with Ledgeman. Ledgeman, how'd the race go for you?
Yeah, so after that quali ban, obviously starting at the back, I had a decent start. I was considering to go onto the hard under safety car as well. I decided against it last second. It didn't go too well for me with that. I think I lost 2 positions through the pits. I don't even know how that happened. And then my hards, I'm not as skilled as an Anki one. So when my hards started to wear a lot, I just spun out. And then that's where I went into the softs of the last little bit. So I ended up coming last of the racing cars. I had some very good battles with Sci-Fi Mega Hype for quite a while though. There were a bit of contact at some points, but overall, very good racing.
Well, glad you had a good time, and looking forward to seeing you again next season. Hopefully, on next game, we can see you a bit more towards the front as well. But we'll also move on to Ollie Bean, who essentially used to have been teammates despite the Haas has not shown up for the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, so I got a pretty good start, gained a few positions, and in the wet I had actually been practicing for wet weather racing because I figured it's Brazil, I may as well, it's probably going to rain, and it did. I gained a lot of positions, and then battling with Cthulhu, there was not a lot of space given, and I ended up losing the rear, and we collided, and I went off. Which is fine, it happens. But yeah, I ended up getting, I think it was P14, which I'm not too pleased with. But it could have gone a lot better if that little moment with Cthulhu didn't happen. But yeah, I feel like I've done well for how many races I've had in the season. I believe, looking at the standings, I may have broken into the top 20 in just 5 races, which I'm pretty proud of myself for doing, considering this is my first time in a race league or anything like that. But yeah, I'm hoping that I can hopefully fight for a seat next season on the new game, or get some more races in. I feel like I can really, turn up and put the pace on and fight for something. So.
Well, I think you should probably definitely get a seat next season if you buy the game, because there's always people who don't get the game until like halfway through the year. So I think there should definitely be room for you and Ledgeman next season for sure.
Oh yeah, I've already pre-ordered it. I've got it. So I'm looking forward to racing again next season.
Well, can't wait to see it. And also we have Pneumatic in here. Pneumatic, how'd your race go?
Well, my whole goal of that race was keep the nose clean, which didn't go well at the end. I had a good fight with Scones, I believe it was, towards the end of the interstint after the safety car. And then, just got 2 penalties, and it became a case of try and build a gap and hold, I think, 11th or 12th. But a bit of a dead race for me.
Well, even though the race didn't go entirely your way, it was still great to having you back for the last number of races in the league, and looking forward. I'm looking forward to seeing you again next season if you're back as well. I assume in the Haas you're going to keep asking for, even when it's a different category.
Gosh.
But yeah, that's been everything here from the finale here, Tier 2. If there's any penalties handed out to one of the leaders, there may be another stream that will go up soon about a potential change in the championship order, if that does occur. But if that doesn't occur, then there'll be no stream, and Kevin Kell will be your Tier 2 champion here in WHF, and it has been a terrific season for Kevin Kell, who almost certainly will be moving up to Tier 1 along with Michael Louis and Godzilla, who I'm sure they'll be annoyed to hear, but you can't be that
No,
quick.
not Michael Louis.
You can't be that quick and keep complaining about it like you're 50 points ahead of everyone else.
But he's my teammate. Oh, not Michael Louis.
Well, Scones, the solution is if you are just absolutely rapid on the next game, then you can also be Tier 1.
Cool, I'm just gonna die in Tier 2 then. I'll never be quick enough.
But anyway, Ollie, what is your summary of that race? How'd that race go? Like, how'd you enjoy commentating here in the finale? If you're still there. I think... Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I mean, exciting is one word you can use for it. I mean, obviously we had penalties, incidents early on. And obviously this is my first race commentating, excuse me, first race commentating Tier 2. And yeah, I wish I'd commentated a few more, to be honest, because, it's fun to watch. I just want to say congratulations to everyone that finished the season. Just congratulations for surviving the whole season. And yeah, hopefully, we can see you back next season on the new game. And Scones F1 25 dominance. Incredible fans.
Oh my god, commentator's curse. I'm coming dead last every race now.
We've done it now. We've done it now, Ollie.
Oh no.
Gosh.
Do I even bother getting the game now? Like, it's just gonna be a bad experience, right?
Yeah.
Get rid.
Well, I must add on to Ollie's point. He did say it was great to see everyone finish the end of the season. I must say, with this particular game, it has been brilliant to see everyone have the will to finish this game to the very end. So great to see everyone finish the season, but also great to see Kevin Kell, Michael Louis, and Godzilla battle it out until the final race. And what an exciting finale it was to end the season on. You never really want a championship to be decided by penalties, but the penalty in the end did add a lot of drama to that race. We were constantly looking at the gap between Michael Louis and Kevin Kell, which for a lot of the race was between 10 seconds, 9 seconds. It kept flip-flopping, where Michael Louis would be ahead and then Kevin Kell slightly ahead. So a very exciting race nonetheless. But that will be your final... what's the word I'm looking for? Final WHF season here for Tier 2 on this game. The next full season will be on the next game on F125. However, we are running a mini competition in May for F2 and May Mystery Month on Saturdays and Sundays. For anyone who does want to get involved, please join the Discord in the link in the bio to the TikTok or Twitch. But also important to note, the Tier 1 finale is tomorrow as the Tier 1 drivers head to Qatar for another championship decider where the battle is between myself and WHF Gordon, as well as the constructor battle between Ferrari and Mercedes. So that'll also be an exciting watch. But we'll find someone to raid on our way out as well if we can. Let me see who's live. Looks like it's going to be Scott Taylor again. We're going to raid. We'll raid him a lot, it seems. We're going to raid him again. But anyway, I've been WHF, joined by Ollie in the commentary booth, and Kevin Kell is your Tier 2 champion. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.
Are we clear?